All right, today we're going to make our paint work order for our house that we're building. Here's some basic rules that will be posted on Canvas, but we're going to keep all of our normal doors the same size to keep things simple for me to grade, or Miss Voorhees to grade, 3 feet by 7 feet. What I mean by normal doors is like your bedroom doors, all that. The closet doors can be different sizes, right? You know, that's up to you, but your normal doors like bedroom door, front door, bathroom door, any of those. All of our walls, for simplicity, are going to be 10 feet tall, and all of the cabinets, you know, like your kitchen cabinets or your bathroom cabinets, you know, they're on the floor, they're 3 feet tall. We're not worrying about wall cabinets, we're just going to worry about the floor cabinets. And your windows that you put in your room can be whatever size you want them to be. So let's dive in. We're going to do 3 example rooms together. I got a little forgotten detail. So what you'll do on your homework is you're going to have those 3 empty spaces where you'll have to make a small drawing of your own rooms. We're going to do 3 example rooms together. So when you draw your own room, yes, we'll use a straight edge, but it's not going to be to scale. Remember that 1 to 4 scale that we did? It's not going to be the scale. Use a straight edge. This is a bedroom, so make sure you titled that. I forgot to put the word closet in there, so please label all your closets, and then put in all of your dimensions of everything in just real life. You can see this is 11 feet. This is a 16-foot wall right here. My closet is 4 foot by 7 foot. I've got my door. I should put 3 feet on that, you know. And then I have a little 4-foot spot right there before I get to the closet. And here's a window, 3 feet. So remember how we make the windows? We put the little dashes and etc. So we're just making a nice, accurate sketch of this guy with a straight edge. With a straight edge. It doesn't have to be to scale. So what we want to do is we want to paint our rooms. And remember, to paint, all we're going to do is paint the walls. We are not going to paint our ceiling, even though ceilings would get painted. We're just going to paint the 4 walls, or however many walls there are. We're going to paint the walls. And of course, you'll realize that there's some obstacles in the way. You know, like there's this window right here, and I've got a door right here, and you can have all kinds of other obstacles. But what we'll do is I've got this broken up into sections as we work down. Of course, to find just this is the lateral area. So we're going to find the lateral area of this particular room without any obstacles. So we'll start with our formula for lateral area. It's perimeter of the base times the height. And if I add all my stuff up here, I've got 16 plus 11 plus another 16 plus 11. That is going to be 54. So that's going to be 54. And remember, the height of this, all of our rooms are the same height. They are 10 feet tall. So the lateral area of this entire room without any obstacles is 540. So I'll finish that off right there, and that's going to be in square feet. But would you believe there's more that's going to get painted than just those 4 spots? Like, I've got to paint my closet also. So the weirdest part about the closets is you have to paint on the outside and on the inside of the closet. Same thing here. This little part of the closet is going to get painted, and the inside. And of course, we just have the inside of the closet painted right there. So let me try that, because that's kind of weird to understand. Like, here's what needs to get painted in the closet. Like that inside wall, that inside wall, that inside wall, and that inside wall. We already took care of these 2 guys when we did our lateral area, so I didn't need to mess around with like this again, right? But we have to paint the outside of the closet too. So here's the moral of the story. We took care of this part of it already. We just need to find this, boom, boom, and do it twice, because you're painting the inside and the outside. And yes, it will have a big door on it. We're going to take away that later, which is what's called the subtracted area. This is all of our area before we take away any obstacles. So to find that, I'm going to do the lateral area of it, and I just need this perimeter. I add the 4 plus the 7 together and get 11, and it's 10 feet tall. So perimeter of the base times the height. The lateral area of that is those guys multiplied together. But that's just doing it once. We had to do the inside and the outside, so we need to take that times 2 and get 220 square feet. So before any obstacles are removed, and we're calling this the added area because it's not the subtracted area, we add those bad boys together and I get 760 square feet. That's all got to get painted. And now it's time to remove the weird spots like my door, my window, my closet doors, or any other weird stuff. Like this room doesn't have any cabinets in it, but we're just going to rock it. So I broke it up into sections on this worksheet. I have one window right here. Excuse me. Remember, you get it, like, make the windows whatever size you want. So on this, it's 3 feet wide, but I also need to know how tall it is. So for simplicity, I personally am going to make my windows square. You don't have to. You can make them whatever size you want, but you better write down right here what you made them so we can grade this bad boy. So there's my window, and then I'm going to have 9 square feet. So that is the only window in this room. So would you believe, like, once I start doing my math here, I got to subtract that window away because I'm not going to paint over it. So this is why we're in the subtracted area. So total from windows, 9 square feet. Then I want to know how many doors, but these are just normal doors, not closet doors. That'll go under the specialty section. Just normal doors, boom, there's just one. All normal doors are the same size, 3 feet by 7 feet. So that is 21 square feet right there. And I only had the one, right? But my specialty stuff is if I had any closet doors, any showers in the way that we're not going to paint over, and I should put like cabinets on this, but I just didn't. I don't know why, but closet doors, showers, or cabinets. I definitely have a closet door. So what I'm going to do is label it for the person who's grading it. We have a closet door. If I could spell the word right. Closet door. And I'm going to make up whatever size I want that to be. It's going to go right here. And you see how I have 7 feet of room? My closet door is 6 feet wide by 7 feet tall. It's one of those bifold doors. So again, your choice on what size you want the closet door to be. You just write down those dimensions. And that is 42 square feet. But I have to realize I just made a small mistake here. It is 42 square feet, but that's just like on the outside, right? You know, isn't the closet door on the inside as well? So closet doors have to be taken times 2, and that's actually 84 square feet. I'm glad I caught myself. That's an easy mess up right there. So that's everything special. I took care of windows. You might not have any windows. If you don't have any windows, you put a 0 right here. I took care of my doors. You pretty much have a door in every room, I think, unless you have like an open wall thing, I guess you wouldn't have to. And then any specialty things. Do you have any closet doors? Do you have any showers or bathtubs? Do you have any cabinets? The closet door is the weirdest. You have to do inside and outside. So if I add all these bad boys up for a total subtracted area, that is 114 square feet. So here was all my added area of 760 square feet. Here is my subtracted area, so all you got to do is subtract those, 760 minus your 114, and there you go. The area that we are going to paint is 646 square feet. But what's crazy is when we paint a room, usually painting it once isn't good enough, so we've got to do 2 coats on that. So you got to take that number and then take in times 2 because you're actually going to paint it twice. And 1,292 square feet of paint will be used in this bedroom. So that's your plain Jane room. What was weird? Closets. Then I'm going to do a bathroom. This is like a room with cabinets, you know, and so it's just like, all right, I'm going to have a bathroom. So this is just another example. Don't forget, you're drawing your room right here to scale. It might not be a bathroom, but we all have 3 rooms. So first thing first is I'm just going to find its lateral area without any obstacles, right? So that's just like taking the room right here and rocking it. So lateral area would be perimeter of the base times height. I would like you to write that formula down that first time. Perimeter of the base is 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9, so that is 36. And the height, remember, everybody's rooms are the same height. They are 10 feet tall. So that is 360 square feet. I do have a little closet right here, which once again, my stupidity didn't label. So again, people are looking at this going, what is this? Please make sure you label it like a closet. I do have a little bitty closet right there, so I will find it. I have to kind of do a little bit of work, so I think it would be nice to like put the dimensions in it also. So that's still 3 feet. And you see how the whole room is 9 feet and that bathtub is 5 feet, so that's got to be 4 feet. Might as well put all those dimensions in there to make it easier for us to grade. So I will find the lateral area of that little closet, and I will do the perimeter of the base times the height. So that's going to be 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4. Oops, I take that back. Remember, on the closets, we've already taken account of all of this. We just have to do this like other part twice, right? Because you got to paint those walls on the inside and on the outside. So it would be your 3 plus 4. Sorry, had a little recording error there. I'm not quite sure exactly where it happened, so I'm going to go back. We're talking about the bathtub. I'm not going to paint my bathtub like over the top of it, so I'm going to do my tub right here. It is this 3 feet plus this 5 feet plus this 3 feet, so that's what's not going to get painted. That is 11 feet by, it's only going to be 6 feet tall. Like, that's something, the shower won't go all the way up to the ceiling. We're just going to make it a rule that all of our showers are 6 feet tall or things like that. So that's 66 square feet. That's not going to get painted there. And then I do have a closet door right here, which doesn't really show up, but I just need to do it, so I'm going to call it closet door. And it is 3 feet by 7 feet, which is 21 square feet. So a lot of subtracted area, a lot of specialty area in this bathroom. I want you to highlight anywhere a cabinet touches the wall or your shower touches the wall, because it just shows you a little bit better what's going on. Remember, cabinets are 3 feet tall and showers are 6 feet tall. So all that total specialty area, I add that all up right there. Just these numbers is 111 square feet. All of my subtracted area is my window, my door, and all of that. You add those bad boys up, and I get 141 square feet. So how much area did we paint? We had 500 square feet of total added area, but we need to subtract away 141. So 500, take away 141. It appears that we have ourselves, boom, 359. Is that right? Or is it 369? Yes, 359 square feet. But we're going to do 2 coats, so we take that 359 times 2, and we get ourselves the 718. The only reason I freaked out there is because I couldn't read my own handwriting on the piece of paper I'm looking at, but I did it right. 359, and then that's just for 1 coat. 2 coats is 718. So we're doing our 3 rooms at the top. Remember, you won't have both the kitchen and the bathroom. You know, you should only have 1 room with cabinets, but I just wanted to do the kitchen just so like we could see another room with cabinets of how that's done again. So again, the weird thing about my kitchen is there, like, here's the walls in green. There's a wall there, there's a wall there, there's a wall there. And remember, like, how sometimes we just won't have a wall because I'm going to like walk into my dining room or things like that. So obviously there's nothing there that's going to get painted. So using a straight edge to draw this guy, it's not to scale. But I'm going to find my lateral area of this room without obstacles. So it's not truly going to be the perimeter of the base. I just got to add all these bad boys up. And I made another bad picture. I'm kind of doing this on purpose so you see how hard it is with some bad pictures. I don't know the total length on either one of these. I can find them by adding all this stuff up, but don't make me or your teacher add all those up. 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 is 16 feet. It's not that it's hard, it's just one extra step. Make it easy for someone to look at. So 16, this is 10 feet, and this is another 16 feet right here. So remember, I don't need to add that. That doesn't count, right? So I'm just going to add those quick dudes up right there, and that is 32 feet. Again, all walls are 10 feet high, so I have 320 square feet of lateral area before I have any obstacles. There are no closets on here. That's where the specialty area comes in, because that's where you got to paint like the inside and the outside of that thing. So I'm going to have 0 there. So my total added area is 320 square feet. For my windows, did another bad thing for you. I drew the window, but I forgot to write down how big it is in the picture. So I'm just showing you. Make sure you get all those little details. It's going to be another 3 feet by 3 feet window in this case. So again, I made all my windows that you've seen so far the same size. Yours don't have to be. You can have bigger windows and smaller windows. Just write them all down. If you have more than one window, do them all individually so we can see all those windows. Your doors, I have one door right there. Right? So you might not have any. This could be open and that could be open. Even if it is open, I'm glad I said that, you would have to account for it because it needs to not get painted, right? So it actually doesn't matter if there's not a door there. Is there an opening for a door? You would still have to subtract it away, so it does kind of count for a door. This doesn't need it because that's the entire wall missing, not painting any of that, right? So 3 feet by 7 feet. If you had a large opening, I know some of you have drawn those houses where it's like, well, I have something bigger than 3 feet by 7 feet, like call it an opening, you know, and then whatever size that is. So that's good that we came across that. There might be other weird things that this video doesn't talk about. Ask your teacher about it. So I got that. Do I have any specialty? Oh yes, I got all these cabinets. So again, I would require, this is fun, I'm still here, that you highlight everywhere your cabinet touches a wall. So this cabinet touches the wall there in orange. This cabinet is touching the wall here in orange, and it also touches the cabinet there, right? So I'm going to do it as one giant thing, but in a special way. I'm going to call it cabinets. And I'm just going to do like the 5 plus the 3 plus the 2 plus the 16. That's 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 16. That's everywhere the cabinets touch the wall. So I just kind of showed the teacher what I all added up together, and I got to take that times the height of the cabinets, which is 3. So then I'm going to add up all those numbers and call that 26 times 3. So that's a big old 78 right there. So equals 78 square feet. Please make sure you've labeled all this stuff. It's just like, what are we adding up here? What are we calculating? So this is for the cabinets. Do I have any showers? Nope. Do I have any like closet doors or anything like that? Nope. So that's all my specialty area of 78 square feet. So for my total subtracted area is all of those. Punch those in. Got me 108 square feet on that real quick. So my area painted is my added area. Take away your subtracted area. 320. Take away your 108. And I got 200. My bad. It's 4. What? Well, it's at this point in the video where I made a mistake, and it's an easy mistake to fix, so I'm not going to re-record this whole thing, but my mistake was right here. You probably saw that. If I add up 16 plus the 10, that's not 32, that's 42, which meant that this is 420, so thank you for noticing that. And then this is 420, which is, what's awesome is it didn't hurt anything that we've done after that, right? Didn't hurt that at all. So this is 420, but if I take 420 minus 108, I get 312 square feet. So, whoops, I made a small mistake, but I owned it, and it was an easy one to fix right there. So my total area added was 420, take away the 108, which is 312. That's for one coat. I want to do 2 coats, so if I double that guy, 624 square feet. So all we did on this front side is our calculations. When we go to the back side, that's where we will like use Indian's hardware store to figure out what the prices of these paints are, and etc. So you should get your note card back from me to see what colors you picked. There's 3 categories of paint: the grays, the pastels, and the bolds. You can get to Indian's hardware store by just Canvas. It's also under resources on our Canvas page, but I'll have it linked in the agenda if you have me. But what we'll notice here is like the price per gallon and how much the paint covers. So 1 gallon of this grays, I don't care if it's light gray, blue gray, dark gray, black, white, it's going to cover 325 square feet. Then the pastels, if you have any of those colors, see, they cover 400 square feet, which is more. That's why it's going to cost a little more. It's $60 a gallon. And if you have any of these bold colors, they only cover 300 square feet, and it costs $56 per gallon. So again, you chose your own colors. The rule is you can't have like all three colors come from the same palette. So I couldn't have like all three of my colors come from this, because quite honestly we want you to do different math and use like a different coverage rate. So you can have two the same. You can even have like a light gray and a blue gray. You see how they came from the same palette, but their third color has to come from this, another one, right? So here's what I chose. We're going to do on the back side here. You'll also notice this little weird grayed out area, this little with the dots and everything. Man, if you were watching this in 2025, I didn't think when I copied these off that would be so dark. I just wanted it to be really, really light, but it came out way too dark. But in the future, that will be fixed. So if you're watching this past 225, then 2025, it should work out the way I want to. But I'll show you what that's about in a second. But here's what I'm going to do. We're going to start with our first room. You know, we did the bedroom. So what color are we choosing that? Well, you don't get to choose it. This is my house, right? So I'm painting this bedroom pink in this case. So on my work order right here, pink is in the pastel, so I'm down in the middle of it, but I just blew it up a little bit larger so you can see it. So I put my room name, and I put what color I did. It was not pink. I'm going to use the real names from this guy. It is light pink. So that's what we have chosen. Then what I got to do is just go to Indian's Hardware Store and see how much area, or not Indian's Hardware Store, to the front side of this, how much area did I paint in my bedroom. So I painted 1,292 square feet in that. That was my 2 coats, right? And then how much coverage per gallon, getting that off of Indian's Hardware Store. This is the pastels, here's my light pink. I get 400 square feet per gallon. So we're keeping this easy to read and just going to put the 400. We don't need the label of square feet. This is the only room I'm going to paint pink though, by the way. I've got my kitchen and my bathroom. If I was going to paint another bedroom or another room pink, I could use the same gallons, but this is it. I got one room, painting it pink, so I can start doing the rest of the calculations. My other 2 rooms I'm going to paint the same color so I can share the gallons of paint. We'll see how we'll do that in a moment, but if I just divide those out, I've got 1292 area that I need to paint, but every one of those gallons is going to cover 400 square feet, so if I just divide it by 400, I'm going to get a decimal amount right here. So I punch that in. I'm going to get, if I can get my mouse to work, 3.23 is what I need. So the decimal amount, 3.23. How many gallons of pink would I need to buy though? Isn't that more than 3 gallons? So we have to round these up. I need 4 gallons of that. Even though 3.23 rounds down, I need more than 3 gallons of this light pink, so I got to buy 4. What's the price per gallon? Finding that on Indian's Hardware Store again. That is $60 per gallon. So I just got to take 4 times 60. I bought 4 gallons of paint at $60 a piece, $240. If I had anything else from the pastels, I could put that in this chart. But if it was light pink, again, I'll show you that on my next 2 rooms because I'm going to use the same color. But I could actually pick another color from this palette if I wanted to. Like if I wanted another room light yellow, I have to do new calculations because the pink stuff, I'm not going to mix those gallons together. I want separate colors. So the only thing that we would do as a combo is if you're using the exact same color twice. So here we go. I have a total of 240 because my other rooms I'm going to paint light gray. So that's where I'm going to show you how to deal with this little weird thing right here. So what I wanted to do was put that information into these gray boxes that I've got 2 rooms the exact same color. It's just not going to work with how dark it is here in 2025. If you're in the future, then you can put them in these 2 spots, but here we can't. So what I'm going to do is just have us write our 2 rooms. This is only if they're going to be the same, and yes, I'm going to make my bathroom and my kitchen the same color, so I'm going to put them in there. The bathroom's going to be light gray, and then so is the kitchen going to be light gray, but we'll do that in a moment. So what we're going to do is, let's go to the bathroom. We got to flip over and see how much total area got painted. That was 718 square feet. But see, I don't need to fill any of this other stuff out. That should be blacked out. That's why all this junk was like blacked out, because I've got more rooms that I'm going to paint light gray. So if there's leftover paint from my bathroom, I can go use it in my kitchen. So we will do our kitchen next, and that is at 624 square feet is what we figured out. So you can see I've darkened all of that stuff out because what I need is I just need to add those two rooms together because they're both being the same color. That's the only time you'll do this is if you're using the same exact color twice. If you were using light gray and say blue gray, that is not the exact same color. Even though they're from the same palette, can't do it, got to use separate. So if I add those up, I get 1342 total square feet by adding those two guys together. I'm going to put it right there. According to Indian's Hardware Store, each one of those covers 325 square feet. So if I go back to this, I have it accidentally written as 375. That is incorrect. It's 325. And then what I'll do is I'll divide those out to see how many gallons I really need. So 1342 divided by 325. I need like 4.1 gallons of paint. Well, I got to round that up because I need more than 4 gallons of paint, so I actually have to buy 5 gallons of paint. The price per gallon, finding that on Indian's Hardware Store for this color, was $48 per gallon. So if I take 5 times the 48, I'll get how much that I really need to pay right here. And that is $240. That is a weird coincidence. That's the same as the other price, but that's our gray subtotal. Remember, you only got 3 rooms, right? You can't paint your 3 rooms all from the same palette. You have to have at least 2 different palettes selected, and you can't paint more than 2 rooms the same color. So got all that, and here's what it looks like so far if I zoom back out on it. I've got all 3 rooms accounted for. For bolds, I have none of that, so I'm going to put a 0 in there. But now it's time to figure out the rest. This was just buying all the paint. What we need to do is pay labor on it also, and right here it says the labor is 25 cents per square foot. So what I got to do is add up all my totals. That would be this guy and this guy. I did a total of $13.42 in light gray. I did a total of $12.92 in light pink. So if I add all of that up, right, with my calculator, that's 2574 total square feet. It doesn't matter what color it is. It's like the labor is all 25 cents per square foot. So if I take that 2574 times 0.25, you could also divide it by 4 if you wanted to, I get $643.50. $643.50. Sorry, that's so small, but that's just the way it's going to be. So what's my subtotal? Subtotal is pretty simple. We just add these up. I bought this much paint in the grays category. I bought this much paint in the pastels. If you have a number here, you'd add that up, but I have a 0, and this is all your labor. So if you add all those bad boys up, I got $11.23.50. Try to fit it in the box. It's just I don't have room, so it's so small. And then we need to pay tax on it. So we got to take that number, $11.23.50 times 9.25%. We got to change that into a decimal to be 0.0925. And tax, you will always round up a penny. That should round to 92 cents with math rules. The government is going to make you round it up to 93 cents. So $103.93. Then your grand total is you just add those 2 bad boys together. And I don't have room, so I'm just going to write it right here, $1,227.43. Please make sure that goes in that box right there. And this bad boy, at least for me, I don't know what any other teacher did, is a quiz grade. So we are drawing our 3 rooms at the top with all the details in it, all real-life dimensions, and using the straight edge, and then calculating based off of our 3 rooms and the colors that we put on there using Indian's Hardware Store. Please let us know if you have any questions. Have a great day.